All right. So, hello. If anyone is watching, it's probably just my own future self. So, this is going to be the first video in this YouTube channel, and the whole channel is going to be just me talking about something. I'm not going to limit myself to what I'm going to talk about. Whatever I was going through the day or some idea I had in the day, I'm just going to talk about it at the end of the day when everything builds up, in my mind. And I guess it'll be something that I can look back onto when I'm in a different place that I don't really know right now where I will be, but we'll see. And I've tried to improve my speaking skills in here because I know probably nobody's watching. So let's just get started about today because I want this to be an actual, you know, when I started recording this, I didn't really have any idea what I'm gonna talk about, but still, the whole point of what happened today was that I realized I've basically been stuck in the same pattern for 3 or 4 years, like the past 3 or 4 years. And I have tried to get out of it, get out of that pattern, but most of the time I just relapse back into my old patterns. And see, I know that the only actual way to start making progress in anything, even if you don't really have an exact idea where you're going to take it in the long term, is to just start out with what you know. But the problem I had was that I didn't know if this is what I wanted. For example, as you can see, I'm pretty in shape. But when I started my fitness journey, I didn't really have the doubt of should I do this or is it worth it? Because I just knew that it's going to be such a benefit to my life if I actually improve a lot in that area. So I didn't really have to think about much if it will be a waste of effort or something like that because I know that eventually I will be able to figure it out. So there was an amount of certainty and there was also this not just certainty, there was also an assurance to myself that it won't go to waste. You know, you could technically say that for anything in life and say that every experience is going to be useful in some other kind of way. But what I'm talking about right now, the thing I was stuck in the 3 or 4 years was basically what I'm going to do with my life in the next decade or so. And that's a huge pressure to be put on one decision that I'm making at 20 or 21 years old, which makes sense in my mind that I shouldn't really know what exactly is going to look like, but I still want to make the right decision, you know? But that also doesn't excuse the fact that I'm not taking any action towards it, like any consistent action. I might take some action here and there um, when I get the motivation, but the only thing that brings results is consistent action, and consistent action is not going to happen just based on motivation. So It needs to come from within me basically, but it hasn't yet. Nothing has really clicked like that. But I know I'm just gonna start. See, what happened today was, um, I realized this is basically how anyone who thinks a lot in their own head is gonna experience a reality. They're just gonna, instead of making sense of reality through taking action, people like me are gonna, some noise. People like me are gonna avoid taking action because it's it might there's a lot of things that could happen by taking action, and because of that we would rather plan everything in our head before it actually happens, so that we can make sure that every variable is controlled for. But in trying to do that, it takes so long to do that, that it ends up that you don't really do anything for a long period of time. Because if you go ahead and look at every variable that could go wrong and try to account for that, that's not something that beginners are capable of doing in any area of life. But that's exactly what I have tried to do whenever I try to start doing something. So right now, what I have decided is, I have an inkling or an interest to do something. So I'm just gonna try it out without any like big further plans or something. So I have put some videos on my Instagram about fitness coaching and stuff like that. And I am interested in fitness. And I do need some kind of income because I am 21 years old now and I don't really want to depend on my parents anymore. And I want to move out to other places and meet some new people and all that. So I want to be independent. And I don't really want to take a job either because it's going to take up so much of my time and mental energy that I would rather bet on myself and making this thing work, because fitness is a skill I have. It's at this point it's something that I only have really applied to myself. I have helped some people, but it wasn't for a amount of time, long enough amount of time to have produced a lot of results in order to use that as testimonials and stuff to get more clients. There's just not enough of that. All I really have is my own results and some friends that I've helped. So there is a skill that I have to develop where I efficiently or effectively make other people transform. But right now, there's a lot of things that I do want to put out there into the fitness space. And it's not going to be purely fitness either because I don't want to be locked in that fitness guru guy personality, because that's not me. I have a lot more other interests and stuff just like everyone else. Um, but right now, that's what I can depend on. So that's what I'm gonna do. And this documentation stuff is like my creative, not creative, but something to let my ideas out into, even if nobody is watching, just to get it out there. Um, Scratch that itch of not just being a fitness guy, because That's like a big thing I want to avoid, to be to avoid that I am only talking about fitness, you know. I think that's it for today. Yeah.